Imagine a young man so reckless and defiant that he almost failed out of West Point, yet within just a few years his name would be etched into headlines and legend alike. Envision a leader who charged headlong into gunfire, adorned like a fanciful hero, a figure whose survival seemed to defy all odds. But beneath the flamboyant uniforms, the mythic hair, and public bravado, who truly was General Armstrong Custer? History recalls him mainly as the ill-fated commander at Little Bighorn, but what if that tragic moment was just the closing scene of a far stranger and more captivating tale? What if Custer's ascent was not solely about battlefield triumphs, but about mastering spectacle, shaping image, and a passionate romance that burned bright amidst the chaos of war? Tonight, we unveil the boy general, delving into the secrets, scandals, and passions the textbooks often omit. Was Custer merely a reckless fool, a brilliant military tactician, or America's first genuine celebrity? Stay tuned, because the untold story of General Armstrong Custer might just transform how you view him. While watching, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to support our community. Throughout West Point's history, no cadet matched Custer's record for misconduct. Though he graduated near the bottom of his class, there was never any doubt about his sharp intellect. When facing potential disaster, he would push himself, battling back to regain ground. His life was a contradiction of recklessness and discipline. Fresh from West Point as war broke out, Custer quickly proved his command skill through combat. Knowing his own life was his currency, he seized every opportunity to climb the ranks during the conflict. He intentionally put himself in harm's way, leading charges at the front rather than issuing orders from a safe distance. Even as horses fell beneath him, dressed in striking, flamboyant attire, he became an obvious target for enemy marksmen. His bold demeanor matched his daring exploits. Custer led without hesitation, plunging into America's deadliest battles, yet emerging nearly unhurt. He credited his survival to superstition and earned early commendations for bravery at Bull Run. A series of brilliant cavalry raids turned him into a media darling, with the New York Tribune heralding him as a figure destined for legend. His Michigan Brigade, full of men old enough to be his father, worshipped him, following him into the fiercest fights and proudly wearing the scarlet cravats he favored. Amid the furnace of the Civil War, Custer's fearless, swaggering leadership energized his troops. On the battlefield, appearances mattered, a truth Custer understood well. He became a consummate performer who combined fearlessness with flair as he spurred his soldiers forward, blades shining. This striking image of Custer charging into combat won him a Harper's Weekly cover, forever sealing his place in legend. After his pivotal role at Gettysburg, he rose to become one of the war's most celebrated officers, earning the nickname Boy General. He remained in the thick of combat until the very end, even receiving the Confederate truce flag when General Robert E. Lee surrendered at Appomattox on April 9, 1865. His esteemed commander, Lieutenant General Philip Sheridan, gifted Custer the signing table used at the surrender, along with a handwritten letter to his wife, Libby. Few in our ranks contributed more to this victory than your courageous husband. What sets Custer apart is the sheer number of portraits made of him. He recognized the power of imagery in shaping public opinion and wielded it expertly. His theatrical attire and flowing hair evoked a romantic knight-errant, blending those ideals into a unique persona. Custer carefully crafted his image, growing long locks scented with cinnamon and flaunting his youthful, almost delicate features. By blending masculine daring with polished refinement and even subtle feminine touches, he created a legacy unlike any other. Though critics saw him as a spectacle or oddity, Custer's flair for drama largely benefited him. In the late 19th century, public figures needed showmanship to capture attention, a reality Custer embraced fully. He thrived on pageantry, calculating every entrance to spark intrigue. Yet after Appomattox, peace was difficult for Custer. Despite being promoted Major General of Volunteers during the war, he reverted to a captain's rank in the peacetime army. The military shrank from 1.5 million to 30,000 soldiers, leaving few paths for advancement and stagnating officer ranks. The adrenaline of combat faded, leaving Custer restless and adrift. His anchor through this was his wife, Elizabeth Bacon Custer. "Let us die together, Ottie." Better a modest life shared than grand solitude, Libby's words steadied him amid post-war turmoil. "To my beloved, in life she is my universe. In death, my final breath will whisper her name. Heaven itself will feel incomplete until we reunite." Their bond began in Monroe, Michigan, where Custer moved at 14 to live with his half-sister and attend Stebbins Academy. By 1862, he returned as a 23-year-old captain on General McClellan's staff, Monroe's most eligible bachelor. 3 years younger, Libby, daughter of respected local judge Daniel Bacon, was a prized figure at the young ladies' seminary. Though initially indifferent to Custer, his persistent pursuit softened her stance. Ignoring her father's disapproval, she was drawn to being the center of Custer's intense world. Libby was not just a prize, but intelligent and striking, qualities Custer admired, and together they forged a fierce and idealized romance. "How precious he is," she reflected. "I ache with love. His whispers haunt me, his touch lingers." Such words illustrated their consuming passion. "At times he overwhelms my mind. If such devotion is madness, lock me away." Together they lived the chivalric ideal, a knight and his lady chasing life's thrills. Custer's rapid rise quieted Judge Bacon's doubts, and they married on February 9, 1864. Their honeymoon was brief. Duty called Custer back to war, and Libby eagerly accompanied him to the front. Unlike most officers' wives, she insisted on sharing his dangers, whether in campaign tents or makeshift quarters near battle, always a steadfast companion. Libby matched Custer's spirit, poised, determined, magnetic, and their ambitions merged. She foresaw his greatness and pledged to fuel his rise. Though often apart during battles, they exchanged lengthy letters filled with longing. He called her "my blossom" or "sunshine." She affectionately named him "Ottie" or "Beau." From the outset, their lives were inseparable. "When I think of my victories, my bravery praised, I know she will swell with pride," Custer wrote. "My love for her is my very breath. Our souls are one." Their partnership was equal. "I will not be his shadow," Libby declared. "A wife should enhance her husband's life, not lose her own. I seek his wisdom, not domination." She tirelessly championed his career, convinced he was meant to make history. By autumn 1866, Custer was slated to join the 7th Cavalry. But beyond his military feats, did General Armstrong Custer also gain fame as a ladies' man? When the dust settled and legends formed, who was the real Custer? Reckless daredevil undone by ego, visionary leader who mastered myth, hopeless romantic, or master of his own legend? His story is a complex puzzle wrapped in spectacle. A man who craved the spotlight, yet was shadowed by his own choices. He left behind a battlefield and a lasting legacy that still divides historians, inspires storytellers, and fuels debate. So what do you think? Was Custer a hero, villain, or something more nuanced? Did love for Libby redeem his flaws or blind him to his fate? And if you were in his place, would you follow him to glory or disaster? Share your thoughts in the comments. History may never answer all questions, but together we keep asking what matters. If you enjoyed this journey beyond the textbook, please like, subscribe, and share your theories, because sometimes the most fascinating stories are those history doesn't tell. Until next time, keep questioning, keep exploring, and remember, legends are made, not born.